Hey, my lovelies. Welcome back to JayeRated. So, I just saw the Black Phone too, and I gotta say, I'm quite disappointed. Hope you got your snacks ready and your cups are full. Let's get into it. So, if you remember the first Black Phone, you'll know that it was creepy, okay? Reeling. It actually had me on the edge of my seat. I felt like it told a solid story. And honestly, it made me hold my kids a little closer at night, all right? Because I was worried that the grabber was going to try to grab them. It kind of put my soul a little bit in a state of unrest, if you will. And so going into the second Black Phone, I was thinking that I would have some of those same feelings, honestly. I even contemplated seeing it in theaters because I thought it may be a little too scary for me to see on my own. But it definitely fell short. It actually felt like they were trying to out creep the first movie. It was giving trying too hard. So instead of it being scary, it kind of just felt forced. So let's get to cast you may know. So of course, Ethan Hawke comes back as the grabber. We also see the return of Mason Thames and Madeleine McGraw, who plays the two main characters, Finney, who was grabbed or taken in the first movie, and Gwen, who is the sibling who has these basically visions that helped him be found in the first movie. I loved seeing them back. I felt like they were a great sibling duo in the first movie. And we actually got to see a lot more of the sister Gwen in this movie. See some of her um, characters' personality pop, and get to know a little bit more about her story and how she even started having these visions. As it relates to the other cast, there were a couple of new faces, like the character Mustang. I really enjoyed her character. And honestly, I felt like the acting for this movie, it was on point. Chef's kiss for sure. So performance wise, nobody missed. It was just the story that really fell flat for me. So throughout the movie, there were a few creepy moments that made me tense up in my seat, like when we met the victims in this movie. So basically, the Black Phone 2 was almost like a prequel in a way that it tells the story of how the grabber becomes the grabber. So that was interesting to see. You know, when a movie tries so hard to scare you that it kind of forgets to make you care about the story, I think being invested in the story is what kind of brings on the scare factor, if you will. As it was telling the grabber's story from the past, but also trying to tie it into like the present day of the movie, just felt like the pacing was off. We kept going back and forth between past and present, which I wouldn't say was confusing to myself as a viewer, but it just to me messed up the pacing for the movie, um, which in turn didn't really help the story they were trying to tell. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was in the first movie, I felt like the pacing and like the building of the tension was amazing. That's what kind of made it like so scary. But with this one, they were trying so hard to sprinkle in these like jump scares or scary moments that the tension didn't even build naturally to a climax, I feel. So, standout moments for this movie. I will say, honestly, I feel like the only standout moments were from character Gwen. She was a lot more fiery in this movie. You got to see a lot more of her personality. She's a little older now, so there's a lot more profanity and disrespect to authority figures, but she played her character very well. As I said earlier, when I got halfway through the movie, I was actually considering just getting up and leaving. I was actually fine with not knowing what the end was because I just felt like it was falling short. So, yeah, I left feeling unsatisfied, which was a huge disappointment from the first movie. It definitely did not um, meet my expectations for sure. And with that, I rate the Black Phone 2 a 5 out of 10. I wanted chills, all right? I wanted to be on the edge of my seat. I wanted to be holding myself a little bit towards the end because I was a little scared. But that's not the case. Honestly, I feel like the only thing that I left with was confusion. So the movie had potential, it just didn't meet its potential. Okay. So, guys, tell me, have you seen the Black Phone 2? If you have, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Okay. I promise it won't be too long before you see me again. But until next time, keep your snacks ready and your cups full. Cheers, babes.